This is the section of the course where things start to get fun, because we're going to go through every single chart that you can create in Excel. And we're going to start out in this lesson with the two charts that you're probably going to use most often, the column and the bar chart. Now let's just do a quick recap as to the type of data that is most suitable. So with column and bar charts, these are best for comparing numerical data. And they're good all-rounder charts. So you'll find that they are suitable for most datasets. Not all, but most. Now, what types of data would we display in column and bar charts? Well, maybe we want to find out what the sales are by region, or the profit by quarter. We can even add in another category or another series and show the revenue by sales agent a month. Or maybe we want to show something like the population by country. And you can see a couple of examples on the right-hand side. So let's dive into the example and create a couple of charts. So in the spreadsheet here, I have some sales agents in column B. I have months of the year running from January to December, and then I have the revenue that each of those sales agents have generated. So effectively what we have here is revenue by sales agent a month. And then we've got some totals at the end. Now, more often than not, you won't be including totals in your chart. You just want the main bulk of the actual data. So let's just create a basic 2D column chart first of all. Now, the way that I like to do this is I like to select my data first of all. So I'm going to select all of the data that I want to display in my chart. So I'm going to click where we have agent. I'm going to go across because I want to include all of the values for the entire year. Up to the Insert tab, into charts, and here is where we have the drop down for 2D column charts. This is also where you're going to find your bar charts at the bottom, because basically a bar chart is just a column chart but switched the other way around. So let's select 2D column charts. You can see exactly what that does. So I'm displaying quite a bit of data, so I might want to widen this out, but this is pretty clear to read. Now, maybe at this point, I decide that I'm actually not interested in seeing the data for all of the sales agents. I just want to see the information for Claire and Sarah. So I'm going to go up to chart design, select data, and I'm going to deselect everybody except Claire and Sarah. So we're just going to remove the ticks from the boxes, click on OK, and the chart is going to update. I could do the same if I only wanted to display the data for maybe the first quarter. I can go to select data and deselect everything except the first 3 months of the year. Click on OK, and there we go. I have a smaller data set that is a little bit easier to manage. So from this point, it's really just about the formatting. So you can then go in and decide how you want this to look. So let's add a chart title. So I'm going to say revenue by agent for Q1, and let's also make that bold. I could go in, I can maybe change the chart colors that I'm using. So let's go to chart design, change colors, and I'm going to make these a dark green and blue. Maybe I want to move that legend. So I'm going to put the legend at the top. I could go in, I could add axes titles, and let's add some data labels as well. Let's select those, and I'm going to put these on the inside end. Now we can't see those too well, so let's select them. Go to the Home tab and change the font to white, and we're going to do the same for the blue series. Let's make those white. Now I need to make these bars a little bit wider because they're not quite accommodating that number. So select the bars, Control 1, and then we can change that gap width. So I'm going to take that down to decrease that gap. Now that we have our data labels, we don't really need our vertical axes, so we can simply delete it out. So very quickly there, we've managed to create a really nice looking column chart that's nice and simple to understand. Now, just so you can see what a bar chart looks like, because as I said, it is just the same, but flipped the other way around, I'm going to duplicate this chart, Control D, and pull it over here. And then what we can do is go to chart design, and I'm just going to change the chart type. And this time we're going to use a bar chart. So let's select bar, and I'm going to choose this one, click on OK, and you can see how that displays the data. All of the formatting options for both of these chart types are exactly the same. Now, the other column chart that you might come across is a stacked column chart. So let's take a quick look at how that works. I'm going to duplicate this chart one more time, and let's pull it across. I'm going to change the chart type, go back to column, because this is where you're going to find your two options for stacked column. So we have a stacked column, and we also have a 100% stacked column. And with this one, all of the values add up to 100%, whereas with this one, they don't. So let's select just the regular stacked column. Click on OK, and you can see what that looks like. So it just stacks those series on top of each other instead. And maybe in this one, I want to display something else. I'm going to select the chart, go to Chart Design, select Data. I'm going to see this data for 2 more sales agents and a couple more months. Let's click on OK. And you can see it's added those in. Now check out what's happened here. As we've added in 2 more series, it hasn't pulled across the formatting of the data labels. So you do need to go in and reapply that white font formatting so that those stand out. But hopefully you can see the difference there between a column, a bar, and a stacked column chart. As I said, these are the most popular charts to use, and they're suitable for a vast number of data sets.